Yo, what is up YouTube? It's your boy Bobby D, and I'm back again with another hot and juicy video. And as always, I'm joined by my guy, Steve Cook.
Bobby D.
Here to join me, provide you guys with some more hair-related content. And you know, if you like hair channels, be sure to subscribe to Steve's channel, Defeating Hair Loss. I make an appearance every so often.
My model.
I do my best. And tonight, Steve, about this topic, I get questions all the time. This is real life. I'm at a bars with friends, and they're asking me, hey, where'd you get your hair transplant at? You go overseas for that? And I tell them straight up, I did it here in the States in Austin. Dr. McGrath, and I've had 2 procedures now, and my hair looks great in my opinion.
Fantastic.
And so I just wanted to ask you, Steve, what's the stigma? Is overseas that much better to get a transplant? For me, doing it here was the best decision I've made. So your thoughts?
Well, I'm Bobby, I'm always willing to give anybody opportunity to do good work. Mm-hmm. Okay. So because I'm so obsessed with this industry of hair loss, hair restoration, and you're an example of both, mm-hmm. fixing your hair loss, doing hair restoration, I get over the top passionate about making sure that I don't seem biased and I educate, I don't preach to. Okay. And my mother taught me something, maybe your mother too, that when I was very young, they said, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. What I feel the overseas hair clinics are doing a really good job of, now that we are where we are with the internet and social media, is they're just driving home these amazing, quote, cherry-picked results, which I'll explain in a second, and the price. So if you look at the price and you think something could go wrong, as long as you're not gonna die, you might overlook that because it's so cheap. It's almost like saying, hey, I need a new cord for my iPhone. I can't go to the Apple store. I got something happening in my leg, so they'll ship it here tomorrow. It's made in China, but you know what? Let's see if it works. It's like $2. Of course, it didn't work or it broke right away, but it was worth the $2, right? It's the same thing. It's that, well, if it's, I don't know what they charge, $2,500, $3,500. Well, what's the risk? Well, what you don't realize is you're risking all the hair in the back of your head. So I am not going to sit here and tell you that from an international perspective, Bobby, there are not good board certified hair surgeons out there. But what I can tell you is that this makes no sense that these young guys, I'll say young guys, could be any age, are seeing the social media and thinking that, they're going to get this world-renowned surgery. They're going to be the only patient of the day. They're going to get the top tech team. There's going to be no issues, and they're not even going to need to take any medication for $3,500. That makes no sense to me. That doesn't make sense.
Too good to be true.
Yeah, and to elaborate without going off on a tangent, Bobby, is if you cherry pick, which means, okay, let's say, and they are doing a good job. Let's say you got an airplane with 30 guys on it that are going to a foreign country. It's just like the old days for me taking buses to Atlantic City, right? There's got to be one person in that bus that hit a slot machine for a couple $1,000, but that's only one. So when they're coming back and there's all these different components to your surgery, including the quality of your donor hair, who knows who worked on you? Maybe 2 or 3 of those guys could get a great result because they have that freaking horsehair in the back of their heads. Those are the guys that they're going to get photos of and show you that you're going to get that result. And that's simply not the way it should be done.
Yeah, because even what we talked about in one of your previous videos, you can go over there and have poor donor hair, and they're just going to do it anyways.
Yeah, because you're paying $3,500.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's where it's really important. Is I think that, Bobby, for you as an example, now you are a much better candidate than me because you're able to catch it at a young age with the medication, and your donor hair is stronger. It just is. And I'm not a wimp because I have poor donor hair. I got to admit it, right? I have to face the fact that I have poor donor hair. So I have to find somebody that has worked with poor donor hair. And I have to go to someone that does both procedures so they can determine which would be better for me. You're getting on an airplane, flying into a foreign country, you're getting FUE. And that's it. And you're there. And you're in your hotel, you got your breakfast, now you're in the clinic. Now what are you going to do? Yeah. But in your mind, because you're paying $3,500, all of a sudden that poor donor hair became better donor hair, right? So it just makes no sense. So you got to be very, very careful. And that's why I'm not a big fan.
I agree, Steve. Well, thanks for the great info as always, Steve. And as always, if you like my channel, be sure to like, subscribe to it. And also check out Defeating Hair Loss to see Steve all the time. He posts quite a bit and I make an appearance. And as always, we will see you next time.